Who said this was okay? Why are they allowed to have that? Right.
Tactical battle imminent.
What? No. Where are my ground units? This is more acceptable to me. But still, I don't want it to happen. We're gonna have to protect all these ground units. There's actually some Hutt units that I want to add in, because the Essential Guide to Warfare added a few cannon Hutt ships and sort of clarified their position throughout like the Clone Wars on. Especially with the Legacy of the Force books, when they joined the Confederacy and they were using ships that had been in service, like ship designs that had been in service in the Great Galactic War, or like pre-Sith Wars. So we do want to use those ships for something, which makes a Hutt faction viable. They did sort of claim that they weren't going to conquer people as a military power anymore, but it seems like they did have at least a fleet of some sort. Kind of like the Republic had the judicial forces before the Clone Wars. So it's not impossible that we'll add in a cartel faction at some point, but it's not one of the most interesting options, especially because Meldrude tended to fight the Hutts. So it would be good to give them something else to do in a GC that's a bit more favorable for them, because in general they're one of the harder factions, and something where that's more focused on like the mid-ram and has them as the main regional power against like the Hutts and maybe a bit of Zinja's forces, maybe a bit of like the Eastern Empire. Wouldn't be too bad, but again, that would be after 2.2. It helps that I really love those ships and want to find a way to use them for something.
Yes, sir. Ready.
As far as using the retreat ability for ground units, we have to see what the game classifies them while they're in here. I think it should be the actual unit itself when it chooses to respawn it, but they would be prime candidates for the ability. There's no other ability we'd want to give them.
Our shields are down. Our primary engine system is down.
Shield's almost gone. Where'd he go? I'll take care of this. One target. Pursuing enemy forces, falling out of formation.
I try not to think about the Zan Consortium, honestly. In general, as a rule. I'm gonna just retreat so we don't risk these ground units. We're gonna come back and then fight them with the actual fleet, but I don't want to risk losing our entire ground force. How big is the Thrawn Revenge modding team? That depends on how, like, what threshold for activity you're using. And if you're dividing it between like the Empire at War, so well, I guess now with Fall of the Republic it's more Empire at War versus Sins rather than just ICW versus Ascendancy. But it's there's me, Slorny. Well, for XML coding and Lua scripting and all that stuff for EAW, there's me, Smallpox, Slorny, and Kusi Dave. I'm definitely not pronouncing his name correctly. For Sins coding, it was just me up until this release cycle. Now that Bane has joined, so it's me and Bane for actually coding in basically everything for Ascendancy. And Oswolf does the UI for Ascendancy. Then the art team, it sort of works on everything. There's myself, Dr. Knickers, Robin, Jacob, Sleverd, and Elliot. But Elliot, Robin, and Jacob haven't really been able to work on anything for a while. They've been they've had other things to work on as well as Code Eater. So right now it's primarily me and Sleverd that do a lot of the work, and then Code Eater will help out when he can, or Dr. Knickers will help out when he can. He goes by both. Robin did the Bellator last year. He's working on the Nova Cruiser right now, and he's been able to get back to that right in the last week or so, but it had been I think November before that he was working on the Bellator, and I think he started working on the Bellator last February, finished just before the demo, and then the Nova he's been able to start on recently. So it really depends on how active you want to say people are for how big the dev team is. All the GCs begin with a rush to consolidate disconnected territories. It's implausible to change things dramatically, but it's even impossible to make the rhythm conquest more about staging campaigns in the hyperlane borders. Well, in anything, they're going to be worrying a bit more about choke points. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there, Eva. Is the Raider still in ICW? We've used a bunch in this episode, so yes. I want to see the Empire of the Hand in the next playthrough, if they are ready by that point. Well, they did win the Patreon campaign, so the poll for the next playthrough after Eriadu, I'm just keeping that to Patreon, and so far the Empire of the Hand is pretty far ahead of that. So they're likely to be the next faction we play as for the channel. Regardless, after that, I'm not sure if we're going to do the one after the Empire of the Hand through a Patreon poll or through a straw poll. I want to alternate it between it so that the patrons get a bit bigger of a say sometimes, and then still make sure that everyone's getting what they want out of it, because it's always possible to please everyone. But I have to make it worth it for the patrons to basically pay my bills. So, especially with the lower amount of ad views recently, because YouTube tightened the algorithm. So the patrons are covering me a bit more proportionally than they were before. It would be a bad idea for someone to buy the rights to Empire Warfare and modify the game to be much more mod friendly. It'd probably be tens of thousands of dollars, so I would consider it a bad personal financial decision for that person. Don't do this to me. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable. Who needs more than one executor? I really want to see a much more aggressive AI, like one where it's possible to lose against and you have to play skillfully. A lot of the upkeep changes will contribute to the AI being a bit more of a threat. So there's a lot of stuff we want to do just to make the campaign be a bit more involved. Instead of it reaching so soon a place where it's like, how I have 400,000 credits right now, and I'm not in any well, I say I'm not in any realistic chance of losing, but look at what's been happening the last half hour. But yeah, so that is something we'd like to do, but you sort of have to balance it, because if you look at the Maldruid Hunt for Zin setup, that is very, very possible to lose. And then there's other GCs like this one, so some of it's contingent on GC difficulty, but the more we can play with stuff like supply and some of the events in the GCs, the more levers we have to sort of add in more challenges as the GCs go on, instead of it being like, I've now solved this GC because I have 500,000 credits, 16 executors, and 20,000 ISDs with full build queues if I ever do run into a place where I have more pop cap.
Engaging the enemy.
Ready to receive
I don't think I can stop this.
Preparing for jump to light speed.
But yeah, the Raider texture is finished. You hear about Farseer having contracted Petro, we might get an Empire at War 2. I would not trust Petroglyph to make Empire at War 2. I don't think any company would. They get sued a lot for a lot of the games they make. So I think Farseer was talking to Petro about some of the shader stuff. But if you've looked at any of the stuff that Petroglyph has done since Empire at War, like the 8-bit stuff has been working out pretty well for them. But when they've tried to work with larger companies, with publishers, they've been sued, I think, twice. So I don't know that Disney would want to contract that out to Petroglyph.
Battle imminent.
Yeah, fuck. ATTEs. Why does the Pentastar Limit hate me now? But yeah, so I think if there were to be an Empire at War 2, I don't know that Petroglyph is who Disney would go with. Because it's really not Petroglyph's decision to make that game. Will the pop cap on ground battles be changed for different planets? Well, the problem with raising the pop cap is that the game glitches out if you put it above 10, because there's only the 10 boxes when you're zoomed in on the planet. So units start stacking on each other.
Brigade standing by.
All you could really do is lower it below 10, and that's not super attractive to anyone.
Rolling out.
Ready, sir. Transfer
Like it gets
coordinates.
super glitchy if you try to raise it above
Roger.
10.
Move out.
Armor
Alright.
ready. Just give me a target.
Can we
Move into
destroy
position.
everything before they get off the base?
Enemy forces ahead.
Charge. Scanning target.
That was incredibly disorganized.
Unit destroyed.
Moving to fire.
Unit destroyed.
Alright. This isn't going super well.
Reporting in.
I don't think we're going to be able to fight any of that off. We don't have any units for it.
Vehicle factory destroyed.
Like, Petroglyph...
System lost.
Here's the thing with Petroglyph. We were in contact, not us specifically, but the Empire War community was in contact with them about the defree, or about the selection freeze issue several years ago, and they were theoretically working on a fix with LucasArts, and that didn't go anywhere either. So I don't know how much contacting Petroglyph is going to do for anything. If they are actually doing that, or if Disney was actually going to Petroglyph, I hope that no one gets sued out of it. But I don't know. I don't know that they have the studio size for that at the moment, for the kind of quality that Disney would want, or for the size that Disney would want, unless they could like rehire a bunch of people. Either way. So, what time is it? 8:42. Do we have the resources to actually beat anyone here? I'm gonna fortify. I'm actually gonna start building
Vehicle
more
in
ships
production.
everywhere.
Beginning construction.
We've been beaten down to 289 pop cap.
Unit in production.
Let's just build everything we
Vehicle in
can,
production.
everywhere we can.
Vehicle in production.
The list.
Unit in production. Constructing unit.
I do want to get the torpedo sphere buffs done fairly soon too.
Constructing unit. Tactical battle imminent.
You just won't leave me alone, will you? Alright, so I think we're actually going to leave it there for tonight. Unless, hold on. Are we? No, screw those guys. We're going to kill them. We're going to kill them all. Sick of them.
battle imminent.
I'm gonna take it.
Factory destroyed.
Cruiser online.
Why does the Pentastar element feel like this? It's been like 22 episodes of them just chilling in their territory, and now they've decided to take like 5 planets. Alright. Let's see if this will work.
Construction complete.
Alright. Moment of truth. We're not gonna leave it there for tonight. Also, I don't think even if Farseer was in contact with them, that they'd be able to say anything about making an Empire at War 2. So if it was announced in a PM to a modder of their previous game, that person would probably be fired.
Orders, sir. Increase to full throttle. We've located the enemy.
Alright, let's
Choose your reinforcements.
Yes,
let's sort of park here.
Flank speed.
Boss park.
Heading to destination.
We'll get Thalassa in here as well. We're gonna bring it in there.
At maximum unit capacity.
Well, the whole model is being redone for the Torpedo Sphere. It might not even be 2.2 that the new one's done. You might just hold it off and do the whole visual rework for the next version. Oh. Speaking of active team members, 2 of them that have been AFK for a while have actually just emailed or messaged me on Skype in the time that we've been doing this live stream. So 2 of them are back in action after a few months. So there you go, 2 more.
Under control. Watch him. He's coming around. Returning to your position. I'll take care of this.
Alright.
Getting a lock.
What a terrible raid fleet.
We're being targeted. Let's
Like that's
finish him.
really the best
Closing our
we can
target.
get out of you.
Gunship reporting.
That's just pure disappointment.
Forces. Taking him out. Craft. Engaging the enemy. Watch your back.
I guess we're just gonna have to clear out some of the smaller units first before the Belder's gonna want to come to us.
Malfunctioning. Intercepting. I'm on this one. He won't be around much longer. Under control.
Yeah, the Belder is in the know. Is there a Praetor 1 in the mod? No, so the Praetor 1, one of the biggest reasons that the Praetor 2 was made
He's about to be
is the Praetor 1 didn't actually have a suitable hyperdrive, so it was kind of just parked at
Full speed.
Hutt because of the regulations the Galactic Republic had on ship sizes and ship mobility. So you were essentially, if you wanted a ship to actually be mobile, or if the Republic wanted to use it, it had to be fairly small, or it had to be fairly immobile. I'm probably messing up part of that because a lot of my Clone Wars research was 10 years ago, except for what I specifically needed for FOTR, or for the planning the initial stages of FOTR.
Locking on. I've got him. My scopes reporting.
Alright, we gotta get everything
Weapons ready, sir.
going in there.
Yes, Commander.
Weapons ready.
No, you guys go over here.
Target sighted.
Don't attack the Executor, you bastards.
The others. Shields almost
There, yeah, take the Belder's fire. That's what we need. You're helping. You're really helping. But yeah, so the Bellator in the demo, it's available to the Greater Maldrude on Hutt and Fondor.
Roger that.
So they're kind of rare in the demo. The Penistyle Element has a bit more access to them, which is why we've fought 3 of them in this episode, and why this fleet has 2 of them. And I'm really worried about the second one.
The lasers are our target.
Wait, that one's RVSD. Don't shoot RVSD.
Our launch bay has been
Can you spin around a little bit so you can shoot it with your side that actually has weapons? That would be just tops. Okay, you don't spin around
laser
though.
batteries have been disabled.
You need to be over here.
Our shields are down. We've lost our laser cannons. Main shields deactivated. Bomber targeting.
Eliminating target. I've got him.
Copy.
Alright, we're starting to get some damage in on it.
Priority is the laser cannons.
I really need you to turn around.
I've got him. Back around for another run. Getting a lock.
Would there be any reason to add more SSDs than you already have? I find it hilarious how many there are in the mod already. We're actually trying to do different ways to limit the number of SSDs that are around at any given time.
Cannons are offline.
Choose your reinforcements.
But with like the number of factions that are on the mod, there's not really a reason to...
At maximum unit
The
capacity.
lasers have been destroyed.
Unless you're taking some away from the faction and replacing it somewhere. That was a complete waste of a Praetor. But,
The lasers are our target.
just wanted to draw away some fire from the Executor, but I can't even shoot the Executor from there. Here we go, Thalassa. But, yeah, if we were to add any more SSDs, it would mean a faction is losing access to it. Or it would have to be a faction that doesn't have anything already.
Your direction. Getting a lock.
But, like, the build limits on Executors are probably going down.
Closing on target.
Part of it is just how many factions are active on the map at any given time. Some of the...
Intercepting.
I kind of want to rebalance the pop cap a bit. So, raise the pop cap in the battles a bit, but also make the bigger ships cost more pop cap. And make it scale down better on other ships, because like even if the Carrack is 1 pop cap and the Bellator is 16, that's... A Bellator is pretty much better than 16 Carracks, which I think is a movie from like the 70s.
Narrowing position. Regroup. I'm hit. Taking fire. I can't switch position. Sir, I've got him.
Why can't bombers actually pierce shields in this one? Because canonically, as someone else pointed out, the proton torpedoes couldn't penetrate shields. There's actually 2 types of shielding in Star Wars. There's ray shields and particle shields, and one of them could be penetrated. Is that? No, that's. One of them could be penetrated by Executor. One of them could be penetrated by bombs, and the other one couldn't. And
Choose your reinforcements.
so if you have both shields present, then it would make sense to have
Reinforcements canceled.
one type that does get penetrated and one type that doesn't. But if you're representing them both as one thing, then it makes more sense to not have it penetrate the shields. Also, that meant that most battles in Empire War, the best strategy is just to send in all your bombers and get rid of the shield generator right away, which is just not super interesting. It made bombers like easily the best unit in the game, and right now they're still good, but they aren't the only thing that's valuable.
Pursuing enemy forces. Nowhere to run. Locking on. Taking them out. Engaging the enemy. Coming around. We're being targeted. Tightening up.
Choose your reinforcements.
Coming about.
Formation.
Uh,
I'm on this one. Draw with fire.
sorry if I'm missing any questions. I've been trying to look between my monitor and my tablet to read and talk,
Our target priority is the laser cannons.
so there might have been a few things that I missed.
Star Destroyer standing by.
Target locked.
Choose your reinforcements.
Watch your back. I'm intercepting. They won't be around much longer. Closing on target.
If there's anything that I missed, don't worry about reposting the question. Feel free to do that. Just try to be reasonable about it. Leave at least enough time for me to Get through the chat. Don't turn into a wheel of dead thalasses.
Choose your
Which is how this battle's gonna end.
Maximum unit capacity.
Star Destroyer reporting in. Open fire.
When they jump in the next Beller.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, there's still a whole lot of Beller we have to kill.
Take care of this.
Commander, they're hitting us.
He's headed your direction. Get in line.
The lasers are our target.
Target.
Sir,
I'm on them. Awaiting orders.
Tightening up. Let's
Alright,
Tracking target.
that's almost dead.
Our target priority is the lasers.
taking him out. Engaging the enemy.
Will the 181st be tagged to the Agonizer and later as? I don't know.
I'm on this one. Intercepting.
Well, I said earlier,
Shields almost
I haven't
gone.
followed a lot of mods enough to comment too much on them, but since I'm currently playing AOTR, I can comment a bit on that. But,
Falling out of around much longer. Target critical.
it's probably better to do in the actual playthrough for it, but in general I'm really enjoying it. I think some of the stuff for cost can go a little bit too far, because I do like how much the individual units matter, but to a certain extent it feels like it's gotten to the point where it's so much based around just the starting units that you never really get a chance to build your own fleet. And because
It's about to be destroyed.
ships are so expensive, a lot of it ends up being a lot more centric around the heroes, which
I'll take care of this.
that part I don't love as much. How much you're both relying on heroes and how much
Order confirmed.
how well you do in the campaign depends on how well the AI is using its heroes. Because a lot of the stuff I've lost in the game has been
Destroy the enemy.
because of just the Empire hero ball. So I would like
Enemy
a bit more of an opportunity to build up my own fleet in it, out of the ships that I'd prefer to use, rather than be like, these are the ships I have from my heroes and these are the ships that I have from the starting units, and just trying to preserve that. But I do like, in general, like, I understand the reasoning behind why those changes were made. In general, I think it works really well, but if I were to nitpick it, that would be, I think, what I'd say. It always feels uncomfortable for me to comment on other mods, just because of... Like, I never say any of that stuff thinking like, oh, TR is perfect, because there's a lot of stuff that I clearly want to change about TR, and a lot of places where other mods have nailed stuff that we've fallen short on, especially in previous versions. But just trying to comment on it as someone who also, in addition to making the mods, does play them for this. That's basically what I'd say.
Crews are online.
Alright, we're gonna go for Borleus. I kinda wanna just drop these guys on there.
Destination set.
Construct.
We're gonna need to build up more of a fleet anyways.
Vehicle in production.
Get that going.
Unit cancelled.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing, Bullet.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Wait a minute, though. Didn't 2.6 come out before you were on AOTR, Bullet? So it doesn't even count.
Crews are online.
So like any comment I make, Bullet's obviously joking there, but
Construction complete.
it happened a lot more in the early period of EAW modding, where no
Star
matter
Destroyer
what you said
reporting
about
in.
another mod, if you said anything that wasn't just like positively
Move
glowing
out.
about all aspects of the mod, it would just go into this like community debate of like, oh, these devs hate these devs, everyone's fucking terrible, everyone hates every mod except for this one, blah, blah, blah.
Tactical battle
And it just got
imminent.
kind of ridiculous, and that's always put me off of commenting too much. Oh, 2.6 was your first release? Was it really that long ago that you tried? I remember you posting on our forums when you were going to take it over, asking how to get in contact with the SMG people, I think it was. Was that really that long ago, though?
Wing commanders
Choose your reinforcements.
Yes,
There they are! Blast them!
But yeah, aside from not always wanting to use the having to rely on the heroes as much, that's really the only problem I've been having with AOTR. Like I made a decision a long time ago that I would really only stick with playing stuff on the channel that I really enjoyed and wanted other people to play as well. So usually if you see me sticking through a playthrough on the channel, that means it's something that I'm having fun playing. There was one playthrough I did where I was very much not enjoying myself that made me finally commit to that, and it might be obvious what it was if you watch that playthrough, but I'm not doing that to myself again. Yeah, that's why, like, the Stargate mod and AOTR are typically the mods I'll go to when I'm not playing TR. So
I've got it.
Not much longer. Closing on target. Pursuing enemy forces. Taking them out.
I'm on them.
Target critical.
Coming around.
I've got them in
Sir,
my sights.
I've got it.
there's actually release date for the full 2.2. Sorry if that was on the site. So we don't typically announce release dates until we're pretty confident, like until we're basically almost done and there's only a few things left. And we're even at a point where we could say, like, if this doesn't get done, then we can be done at this point. So 2.2 is not at that point yet. Ascendancy is, which is why we've put forward July for an Ascendancy release. But with 2.2, so much is still up in the air that it's harder to say. Bye, women. Cad Bane was always kind of annoying to me.
All sections
Get
exit
behind
command,
them.
my lord. All ahead forward.
I have them now. I'm on them.
Let's finish him.
Watch your back.
Returning to your position.
Enemies in range.
Intercepting.
But, like, really all we can say for the release stuff is, Ascendancy 1.1 will probably be July. 2.2 will probably be, or will definitely be after that, at some point. And then we'll probably get another Ascendancy release out before we do the next version of ICW or FOTR. Or not before we do it, but before they're ready.
We are victorious.
It is 9 o'clock for me. It just turned 9 o'clock. Alright, so I think we're actually going to end it there. Just so that there's not too much for everyone to catch up on before the next few episodes, because I'm going to try to release these, the VODs for this. Unless YouTube doesn't cooperate and doesn't let me actually download the VODs, I'm going to do this as the Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday episodes next week, because there's some people who still weren't caught up on the episodes leading up to this, so I don't want to like pile on like 6 hours of TR the next week. So for those of you here, you can either watch the VODs or maybe you get a break. Either way, thank you so much for coming, everyone. I will probably leave the chat open if there's any other questions that anyone has that they want me to get to, but we also have the Discord and the forum, so if you haven't joined the Discord and you want to talk to myself or other viewers or other people who play TR or STA3 because it's shared with GB Gaming, then there should be a link in the description. If not, there's a link in pretty much everything on the channel, or I'll just be hanging out in the chat. So I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.